What's up, YouTube? So I just got word that Odell Beckham Jr. has been traded from the New York Giants to the Cleveland Browns. That's right. Odell Beckham Jr. has been traded from the New York Giants to the Cleveland Browns. So let's see what they have to say on the NFL Network.
Cleveland Brown, Joe Thomas. I emphasize that for this reason. Breaking news into NFL Network, and this is major breaking news. Mike Garafolo is the first with it. Tell the country what you know, Mike.
Well, I texted Sean O'Hara earlier, and I said, are you with Joe Thomas? See what he knows about Odell Beckham possibly to the Browns, because I think this one's starting to get some momentum. It is done. Odell Beckham traded from the New York Giants to the Cleveland Browns. We are still working to figure out the final details on this one. But Beckham is gone, and John Dorsey is all in right now to build this thing around Baker Mayfield. He has got his #1 wide receiver and a buddy of Jarvis Landry, I might add. So let's check Landry's Twitter account in the coming minutes to see what his reaction is going to be. The Browns are all in. You know, Dorsey said a couple of weeks ago he thinks maybe it's a little bit too early to start talking about the Browns going for it. He was playing coy. They are going for it. Cleveland Browns trading for former Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham.
Mike Garafolo.
So that is out of control. So that means Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr. are going to be running and gunning together now? Oh, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be a nice setup right there. A nice setup. And you know there has to have been some in-house problems in New York if they got rid of Odell Beckham Jr. because that man is a top 3 wide receiver in the league right now. Top 3 easy. So something went on. Something happened in-house that we didn't hear about. Because you just signed a fat contract. I mean, this is crazy. So let's keep going.
With, dare I say, the biggest breaking news we will hear this entire offseason. Ian Rappaport, what can you add to Mike's report?
When we talk to people who are familiar with John Dorsey's thinking, what he has wanted really all along was a #1 receiver. There's not that many in the NFL. He has been calling around, but this is the guy that he wanted for a couple reasons. I mean, this is a team, as Mike said, building around Baker Mayfield. Obviously, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham's buddy on the team as well, as is his former college receiver coach, Adam Henry. There were a lot of pieces in place that made this make sense. The Giants just needed to be wowed with an offer. We will see what this offer ends up being. The expectation is a first-round pick at the least, but we will see finally what it is. Either way, the Cleveland Browns doing work. Odell Beckham Jr. headed to Cleveland. But I will add one thing. One thing we saw with the Antonio Brown trade is he got traded from Pittsburgh to the Raiders, immediately got an alteration to his deal. Does Odell want an upgrade to his deal now that he is no longer the highest paid receiver in the NFL? That could be an interesting question going forward for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, boy.
So not only was he traded, but he's going to get his contract restructured? Oh, man, this is crazy. So basically you have the top 3 wide receivers in the NFL right now have been traded. So Antonio Brown went from Pittsburgh Steelers to the Oakland Raiders, and now we have Odell Beckham Jr. going from the New York Giants to the Cleveland Browns. Who's next? Julio Jones? This is out of control. Out of control. Let's keep going.
Well, there is so much to talk about here. Ian, I know you're going back to the phones. Mike Garafolo breaking the news that will shock the sports world. One of the greatest football players in the game traded in his prime after receiving a humongous contract just a year ago. Mike Garafolo, Ian Rappaport, fantastic work right there. Where do we begin with this one?
I wish.
I just do not think that the New York's going to get anything as good, if not better, than Odell Beckham Jr. You can't let a guy like that go. It's the same thing with Pittsburgh. Why would you let Antonio Brown go? I know you guys were having problems, things weren't working out, but you got to find some way to appease all parties so you can try and get back to the Super Bowl. A guy like that, you don't let go. You don't let him go. It's the same thing with Odell Beckham Jr. Now, he was trouble, but, I mean, sometimes it's trouble over production. I know he hasn't done much in the playoffs, but still, a guy like that, you just can't let him go. You can't do it. I know Cleveland's going crazy right now, but let's keep going.
That you all could have seen his reaction when he initially heard the news.
Well, let's former Brown, former Giant here too, so we get both angles of this.
We've got both sides.
Hi,
yes.
Joe.
Your reaction far less enthused Joe Thomas, what do you think of this?
I'm just blown away. I mean, the moves that John Dorsey has been able to make in just a couple years as a general manager, just flipping that entire organization is just jaw-dropping. You pair Jarvis Landry with his buddy Odell Beckham Jr., and you put the franchise quarterback with Baker Mayfield back there. And those guys are going to be together for a long time. You know that river that was burning in Cleveland and that big parade they had after the Cavs won? They better have the firefighters on standby because that city is about to burn down. That is a Browns town, and they can feel it and they can taste it right now.
It feels like you may have left the game just a little bit too early.
Yeah, you're going to get a text message here. Joe, do you got
bad knees, bad.
Yeah, that is unfortunate that Joe can't be there for Odell Beckham to be there because this might be the start of something good. Between Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr., that they're definitely on the right track to getting back to being Cleveland, being good again. Wait, the Browns were never really that good since Jim Brown left or whatever. But let's keep going.
Bad knees. Why wouldn't you be there for me a couple more years?
Well, they couldn't pay all these players when you were there. You were taking all the dough.
Wow.
Sean,
and rightfully so.
Sean,
You know what?
It's like that.
Let's get to this angle from it because, look, no one questions Odell Beckham Jr.'s talent. But for the Giants to make this move, to say goodbye to the... Oh, actually, stand by. We have more breaking news right now. I'm going back over to Mike Garafolo right now. Mike, what can you follow up on your report?
Yeah, all right, we got the terms now. The Giants are going to receive the Browns' first-round pick this year. That's number 17 overall. They get the second of the Browns' third-round picks, and they get safety Jabril Peppers. He's a Jersey native, I believe. So he is coming back home here to New Jersey as a member of the Giants. You had to blow the Giants away on this one. From what I was told, they were asking for the moon with any teams that inquired, and there were a few teams involved. I heard back from one earlier today that said he must be going to Cleveland because the Giants seem to be making the final rounds here. And so this deal right here was enough to blow the Giants away, obviously, to get this deal done. The momentum picked up quickly on this one today.
Mike?
That's not enough. For a receiver like Odell Beckham Jr., that's not enough. What did you say? A first rounder, and then I think a second and third rounder, I think, for the next year? I have to go back and watch, but that's not enough. I want 3 or 4 first rounders. You know, I want 3 or 4. I mean, I want the full package. I want at least 2 first rounders, at least. For Odell Beckham Jr., a top 3 receiver in the league, and he's young? Oh, come on. Let's keep going.
Excellent work there. We'll come back to you shortly. So, a first-round pick, number 17 this year. Jabril Peppers, who was a first-round pick 2 years ago, and a third-round pick going to the New York Giants in exchange for Odell.
So Jabril Peppers Peppers is a baller. He's a baller from out of Michigan. I remember he was putting it down a couple years ago. But anyways, I can see with him, but still, that's not enough for Odell Beckham Jr. I'm sorry. I want first rounders. I want more in that package. I mean, that's just, you better give me the world. I want the moon, the sun, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Pluto. I want it all. For Odell Beckham Jr., oh, he might come back to hurt them or something. That's just, it's out of control. Let's keep going.
Beckham Jr. My question back to you is this. This had to be something about the personality or the attitude or the locker room fit because it was not about the talent level for Odell Beckham.
Yeah, obviously off the field, definitely overshadowing the on-the-field production. I'm shocked at this, I think we all were. But because Odell Beckham is such a phenomenal player and so explosive, I think the off-the-field stuff got to be a little much, but also the offer was huge. But to me, the third factor in all this is Saquon Barkley. The only reason the Giants were able to do this was because of Saquon Barkley. He was so electric. He was so explosive. He was their offense last year. And that is really why they felt like, you know what, with this guy, with Sterling Shepard, with Evan Ingram, we could still win some football games even without OBJ.
I don't know. With Barkley, I'd give it 2 years before I get rid of Odell Beckham Jr. Because who knows what's going to happen next year with Barkley? You don't know what could happen. It could be just a rookie thing where he's just balling out. In the second year, he got second-year slumps. You never know. I'd give it 2 years with him, but I definitely want to get rid of Odell Beckham Jr. until I'm positive about everybody else on the team. See, this whole trade has got me going crazy. I'm sorry. Let's keep going.
I think for the Giants and for the Giants fans, Odell became such an icon. So this to me it's not just football. It's also, man, this guy, he was the New York Giants face of the franchise for a number of years.
We've got somebody on the phone here who knows what it's like to be the face of a franchise as a wide receiver. Michael Irvin, what do you think of this?
Wow, listen, I'm blown away. And Sean, I hear what you were saying about, of course they're going to lean on Saquon Barkley, a phenomenal talent there. But I also saw what it looked like for the first few games for the Dallas Cowboys without Dez Bryant, who used to take some coverage out of stacking that line of scrimmage now. And as much as Saquon is a beast in that backfield, now he's going to deal with way more stacked boxes than he's ever dealt with, because without Odell Beckham back there, everybody's...
Exactly. Everybody's going to be stacking the box and waiting for Saquon Barkley to make those type of moves. That's why I would have held off and get rid of Odell Beckham Jr. until you're sure about him, until you maybe have somebody else over there to supplement Barkley, because that's, I don't know. This is kind of scary, and I'm not even on these guys' teams. Let's keep going.
They only have one asset, one weapon. Let's go stop him. So to me, it almost signals that the Giants are almost in complete rebuild mode. That's complete rebuild mode for me. When you let a...
But that's just dumb. Like, you're going to rebuild. You just got a great back like Saquon Barkley, but then you get rid of Odell Beckham Jr. It's not like he's old. You can't rebuild with Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham Jr.? Oh, man, that's the greatest building Browns right there. If anything, you might look at getting another quarterback, because Eli's definitely getting older. He's still got it, but he's definitely getting older. So, I don't know. This is crazy. I'm just still trying to take this all in. So, let's keep going.
Talent like this go into Cleveland. Oh, my God. What are they? Let's give John Dorsey some credit, Lonzo Highsmith and those guys some credit for what they're doing and the talent that they have accumulated on that Cleveland Browns football team. They talked about making things being different there. And certainly when we look at that football team now, our eyes get big as silver dollars. Our mouth drops to the floor, and we say things are different in Cleveland.
I mean, there's talent up and down the roster on the offensive side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball. You heard Joe Thomas's reaction. John Dorsey has totally remade this entire roster from top to bottom. Michael Irvin, you've got Jarvis Landry on one side. You've got Odell Beckham Jr. on the other. How do defenses attempt to stop that? You've got Kareem Hunt in the backfield now.
Right. It's oh, my God. You know what? I forgot